In recent years, there has been a growing interest in the development of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, as a potential replacement for traditional fiat currency. However, while CBDCs may have some advantages, they also pose a significant risk to the stability of the financial system and the privacy of individuals. In this video, we will explore why fiat money is dying and why we should be cautious about embracing CBDCs. It is important to understand why fiat money is dying. Fiat money is currency that is not backed by any physical commodity, such as gold or silver, but is instead declared legal tender by a government. This type of money has been the dominant form of currency for centuries, but it has become increasingly unstable in recent years. The reason for this is the excessive money printing by governments and central banks, which has led to inflation and a loss of confidence in the currency. The COVID-19 pandemic has only exacerbated this problem, as governments have printed trillions of dollars in order to fund stimulus packages and support their economies. This has led to a significant devaluation of fiat currencies and a corresponding rise in the value of assets such as gold and Bitcoin. The instability of fiat currencies has led some to suggest that CBDCs could be a more stable and secure form of currency. CBDCs are digital currencies that are issued and backed by a central bank. Bitcoin is not a CBDC. They are designed to operate in a similar way to traditional fiat currency, but with the added benefits of being digital and potentially more secure. However, there are several reasons why we should be cautious about embracing CBDCs. Firstly, they pose a significant risk to the stability of the financial system. CBDCs would be completely digital, meaning that they would be vulnerable to cyber attacks and hacking. This could potentially lead to the loss of funds and a collapse of the financial system. CBDCs could also pose a threat to individual privacy. With a completely digital currency, every transaction would be tracked and recorded by the central bank. This would give the government unprecedented access to personal financial information, which could be used for surveillance purposes. Another concern with CBDCs is that they could potentially lead to negative interest rates. Negative interest rates are a policy tool that some central banks have used in order to stimulate their economies. They work by effectively charging people to hold money in their bank accounts, in the hope that this will encourage them to spend more money and stimulate economic growth. However, negative interest rates are controversial and have been criticized for being unfair to savers and pensioners. With a completely digital currency, it would be much easier for central banks to impose negative interest rates, as they could simply deduct money from people's accounts without their consent. There is also a risk that CBDCs could be used as a tool for financial repression. Financial repression is a term used to describe policies that restrict the ability of individuals and companies to move money out of a country. No government can block you with Bitcoin. This can be done in order to keep interest rates low and to maintain a stable currency, but it can also be used as a tool of political control. One of the biggest concerns with CBDCs is the threat they pose to individual privacy. With a completely digital currency, every transaction would be recorded and tracked by the central bank. This means that the government would have access to a vast amount of personal financial information, which could be used for surveillance purposes. This level of surveillance could potentially have far-reaching consequences. It could be used to track people's spending habits, monitor their political affiliations, or even identify individuals who are engaging in illegal activities. This would essentially give the government unprecedented access to people's lives, eroding their right to privacy and creating a culture of fear and distrust. Furthermore, the central bank would also have the ability to block transactions or freeze people's accounts at any time. This could be used as a tool of political control, allowing governments to silence dissenting voices or suppress political opposition. It could also be used to punish individuals who do not comply with government policies or who are deemed to be a threat to national security. Another issue with CBDCs is that they could potentially be vulnerable to hacking and cyber attacks. With all transactions being conducted online, there is a risk that hackers could gain access to people's accounts and steal their money or personal information. No one has been able to hack Bitcoin since it was born. This could be devastating for individuals and could lead to a loss of confidence in the financial system. CBDCs could also lead to a situation where individuals are forced to give up their financial freedom in order to participate in the economy. With a completely digital currency, it would be much easier for the government to restrict the movement of money and prevent people from making certain transactions. This could limit people's ability to invest in certain assets or move their money out of the country, effectively trapping them in the system. Overall, the threat that CBDCs pose to individual privacy and financial freedom cannot be ignored. While there may be some benefits to a completely digital currency, it is important to ensure that any new system is designed with these concerns in mind. This means developing strong security protocols, ensuring that individual privacy is protected and ensuring that the government does not abuse its power to control people's lives. No government has control over Bitcoin. Fiat money is dying due to excessive money printing and inflation, but CBDCs pose a significant risk to the stability of the financial system and the privacy of individuals. We need to find alternative solutions that address the underlying problems with fiat currency, rather than simply replacing it with a potentially more risky one as CBDC. Bitcoin could be far better than CBDC. With a completely digital currency, it would be much easier for governments to restrict the movement of money, as they could simply freeze people's accounts or prevent them from making certain transactions. This could be used to suppress dissent or to control the economy, leading to a loss of economic freedom and individual rights. This is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. The information provided is not intended to be a substitute for professional financial advice. Please consult a financial professional before making any financial decisions. Please, comment, like and subscribe.